Hello, good evening. How is everyone? I hope that you are having a lovely weekend, the sun's shining on you, and thank you again for joining me here today as we celebrate another full moon, another beautiful chance to explore more of ourselves. And the journey's it's been fun. It's being fun, I think. And we're gradually learning and stepping forward and becoming more of ourselves. You know, it's like we're going up this sort of massive staircase, and each perhaps full moon, new moon, each portal, it's another step on that staircase. And we're just going up, and each day we take another step up. And it's okay if we pause sometimes and have a look back down. It's fine if we stay still for a little while. You know, the beautiful thing about this journey is that there's kind of nowhere that we have to get to. There's no final goal, and there's no pressure. It's up to us. The light is here. It is being offered to us, and it's completely and utterly up to us how much of that light we choose to embrace, how much of that light we choose to open up to. And that's what's so beautiful. You know, obviously there are people who have an old soul agreement, who have, they've agreed to take on as much light as possible. And that can be challenging. But for everyone else, you take on as much as you can, because that's all you can do. And it's enough. It really is. So here we are at another full moon, another chance to uncover more of ourselves, another chance to become more truthful, to become more of who we are, to take off the cloaks, to just be us. There's always another chance. And this is also the beautiful thing about life. There isn't a case of, oh my God, if you've missed that event, if you've missed that portal, if you didn't meditate at that certain time. It doesn't matter. It's time to be gentle with yourself. Ascension is not an exam that we have to pass. There's no test. There's no rule book, and there's no timetable. So be gentle. If you couldn't do something one day, it's okay. There'll be another moment. Just be loving and kind to yourself, because that's the real journey of ascension. It's about a self-love, a self-respect. And that's what we have to come back to. But there's time. There's always time. Because life is eternal. So don't worry. Put that aside. It's all this human part of us, this human side, that feels pressured into deadlines. But in energy, none of it matters. We simply are. So this beautiful full moon, you've probably been feeling it for a little while. Been feeling this gateway that's opening. And you may have been feeling a little bit flat. You know, you may have just felt like you don't want to do anything. You may have felt heavy and, really quite down. Perhaps inexplicably for an hour, for a day. And then you suddenly feel better again. That's all right. That's all just part of this journey. And now we're at this full moon that feels so expansive, so big. Many of us have had the feeling as if we're in a bubble and the bubble just needs to burst. Or we're just going to push a gate open and step through into something else. A transition. a moment when we go from one state to another, just opening ourselves up to something. And this is the energy of this full moon. And what are we opening ourselves up to? To truth. To truth, to love, to loving ourselves, to forgiving ourselves, to being honest. To put aside all this fluff that is 3D, because that's all it is. It's just stuff that surrounds us and tries to divert us from who we are. And it's funny, because when you know who you are, then you can play the 3D game. Then you can be here and you can have this human experience, because you see everything differently. But when we're wrapped up in the truth of 3D, then there is the pain and the difficulties and the worry and the burdens. But it's all just how we view life. That's all that needs to change. So, what we're letting go of with this full moon, what we are putting aside is all that 3D stuff. We're just coming back into ourselves, into our light. We're coming back into love, because that is what we are. That's what we've come from. That's who we are. And that is the energy that we carry. But we have been programmed to believe that we are something else. Most of all, programmed to believe that we are sin, that we are sinful, that what we do, what we think is sinful. But this is because you've been given this narrow little box, this narrow little pathway, and says that if you don't walk that particular pathway, then you're doing something wrong. But if you imagine a circle, they show me a 360-degree circle, and that is life. That is all the opportunity that awaits us, that is there for us. And 3D has said to us, right, 19 degrees, that's the path through. Don't look at 18 degrees, don't look at 20 degrees, stay on 19 degrees. And you're only allowed to view that, you're only allowed to be on that particular angle. What about the rest? What about the other 359 degrees? It's all there for us. But we've been told that we're not allowed to explore outside of ourselves, outside of our little journey where we've been placed. That to do something else is wrong. To think something else, to think for yourself is wrong. And I know some people say, I don't believe you, but as somebody said, if advertising didn't work, why are you reading that great big advert that says advertising doesn't work? We have been cajoled and suppressed and manipulated as if we're some kind of a little jelly mould. You know, a little lump of jelly, and you can just squish it into a shape. And with jelly, you can have that mould and you can make that jelly form any shape. And the one thing we've never been allowed to be is our own shape. We've never allowed to be perhaps without form and just to be free. There's always been somebody with a purpose for us, with an agenda for us, that says this is the mould that we have to fit into. And so we've denied ourselves, we've denied who we are. And what we're trying to do now is let go of the mould, is to step out of it and just be jelly, just be light. And I get that it can be really tough because it's scary. You know, if you take away all the boundaries, if you let go of everything that seemingly holds you together, what is going to hold you together? That becomes a difficult question, because there is nothing, but then we have to realize that we don't need anything to hold us together, that we are actually perfect as we are, and that we are just this beautiful, expansive light being. So we don't have to have anything that is keeping us in a particular shape in order to be acceptable to somebody else. And this moon is asking us again and again to let go, let go, let go. Just let go of everything. Whatever it is in your life, in your thoughts, in your being, in your heart, that doesn't actually support you, bring you light and make you feel amazing. Why do you keep it? I mean, that really is a massively huge question. If there are things in our lives that just don't support us, why do we keep them? Why do we hang on to them so tightly? Now, one thing I love doing every now and again is I'll go through my wardrobe, through my books, through everything. And I will have a look and say, does that suit me? Does that fit with me? Does that energy resonate? I've even done it with address books. People do it with Facebook friends. If there's something in there that doesn't resonate with your heart, that doesn't make you feel good, alive, special, why is it there? Because this idea that we have to hold on to things because it was valuable to somebody else. No. You know, I even look at my mum, and I love her history. She has a very varied and exciting history. And, you know, sometimes I look and I think, oh, no, don't throw that away because, you know, that was my mum's. She's still alive, don't worry. You know, that was my mum's, and I have to hang on to it. But then I look at the way the world is going and I think, why is it important? We're stepping forward into the most incredible era of light. Why do I need to hang on to anything that belonged to this world of 3D? I don't. I'm allowed to keep it. I'm allowed to keep it because my 3D self says, oh no, but I love to hang on to these memories. And that's okay, but it's about knowing whether we want to keep something or whether we need to keep something in our lives. If you want it there, it's fine. That comes from your heart. But if you think I need it, why do you? Why do you need to hang on to anything? You don't need to do it for anyone else. You don't owe them anything. You don't need to value something or keep something precious if it doesn't resonate with you. It's time to have these clear outs of our lives, to take away anything that is not supporting us, that's not supporting our journey, that isn't carrying our light. You know, everything we have can carry our light. If it's not light-filled, what's it doing there? Why do we want to hold on to our pains, our traumas? This is also what we need to let go of. They don't make us. There's no there's no worthiness in hanging on to your pain and saying, oh, look at me, but look at my scars. Don't you see how brave I am, how strong I am, because look at all my scars. It doesn't matter. Everybody has scars. Who are you going to be? Are you going to be a person that's built of scars? Or are you going to be a person who opens up and says, actually, no, I'm light. The scars are just things that happened, but I don't need to hold on to them. Because the more we hold on, the more we become that, the more we stay in that moment. The more we sit there and say, well, I am now nothing more than my scars and my pains and my traumas. And there's no room then for light. There's no room for change, for adaptation. Let them go. You don't need any of that. And this is where it becomes scary, because suddenly we go, but if I let go of everything I used to be, if I let go of everything who I knew, that person who battled through all these challenges, who rose up and said, look how strong I am, if I let go of that, who will I be? And this idea as if letting go of our traumas will suddenly vanish into a puff of smoke and never be seen again. It's a nonsense. When you let go of the traumas and you let light in, you become bigger. You become more magnificent. You become light. You become who you really, really are. And then we don't need to hang on to a memory that upsets us. We don't need to stay in a certain state to justify anything. Because light doesn't need justification. Light doesn't require anything. It just is. And I know that feels really weird when we suddenly think, my God, if I let go of it all, then what? Well, then you're free. You're free of the mold, you're free of the pressure, you're free of everybody else's social control, and you simply become you. You become love. And who doesn't love love? Everybody does. You'll become more loving. We will become more loving, more powerful, more beautiful, more magical. Simply by letting go of all the stuff that we drag forward all the time. Don't need it. Don't want it. If you let go of everything, it's like being on holiday all the time. And sure, sometimes we come back to work, just for a moment, and then we go off again on holiday. That is actually what life should be. That's what it's meant to be. A beautiful feeling of just growth and expansion every day, every moment. And we can adapt to everything. So let's step out from this bizarre shape that we've been forced into. This bizarre role that we've been placed in, the one that doesn't actually suit us. Step out and become true to you. Let go of it all. Build a new form, a new life for yourself. Find the truth of who you are. Why? Mostly because the world needs you right now. The world needs your light. People need your light. They're looking for something. And before, perhaps they've looked for darkness, they've looked for security, and that was in the dark because there they could hide. But now people are looking for light. And they're looking up and they're saying, where is that light? Where's that person to lead me? Where's that person to give me the reassurance? They're looking for you. Are you going to be there to greet them? Are you going to I'll try that again. Are you going to let your heart be the one that they see? Is it going to be your hug that they encounter? Your love that greets them and makes them feel secure? It doesn't matter how many people you reach. You might reach one, you might reach 1 million. It doesn't matter. You're doing the job that you are supposed to do always. By opening our hearts, we allow that intention to arise within us. When we close our hearts, our intention, our purpose gets buried. But opening our heart to love, it brings up into our life all that we are supposed to do and supposed to be, which basically is just be love. That's all we're ever supposed to be. That's actually our role. How we do it? It doesn't really matter. Healing comes just from love. The methods that we use, they're irrelevant really. Love heals. And that's the truth. And you can heal yourself by opening your heart to love. Opening your heart to the angels, to the guides, our star family, to yourself. And it can be scary, opening up our heart for the first time to that real love that sits inside there. I know I spent a long time when I was younger rejecting love, pushing it away. And I struggled. I struggled so much. Until one day I decided, with help, to let love in. And I looked out at the world and it changed. I didn't see strangers anymore, I saw friends. All I had to do was make a choice. That was it. I just had to choose to let love in. You can do the same. Let go of all the old stuff. Let go and let love in. It doesn't want to hurt you. You can do it. Let go of the shame of being you, because there's nothing shameful there. Let love in. Be love. It's that simple. I know you can do it. Now, have a look at the cards as usual. And this week, I chose, very fittingly, the Work Your Light Oracle cards. They're beautiful. They carry so much light. Work your light. Perfect. So, the first card that came up is the Great Gathering. And this is us. This is us weaving our light together to build a beautiful web, a beautiful network of light all across the planet, supporting, touching every person, creating a web that they can step into and wrap themselves in light. You know, at the moment there's a lot of energy coming from the Council of Trees, amongst many other supportive light beings. In the Council of Trees, they stand as an individual. You know, the great, huge tree standing in the forest. But if you go underneath, their roots are intertwined. Everything connected under the surface, through the trees, the plants, it's all there. It's all a connection. And this is us. We stand as an individual. And yet when we let love in, our love then connects with everybody else, and we build this beautiful web, this beautiful network of light that runs through the earth and across the earth. And that is what we are stepping into now, a time to come together, a time of community. This is why the darkness tried to separate people. They've always tried to separate people through hatred, anger, greed, war, fighting. It's always been about separation, because they know that when this web of light is built, nothing can defeat it. It will cover the lands and keep us safe in light. Then the second card is Mintakans. And this card is about home. That sense of finding a place where we belong. And I know there are many, many starseeds out there who don't feel at home here, who feel like they were almost stranded, you know, like E.T., just stranded here and left. And it feels like a place that is harsh and cruel, and they don't understand the rules and the games of 3D. I know, I've been there. It's tough. But the answer to this discomfort is love. The answer to this awkwardness, to the lack of understanding, is love. When we come home to love, when we come home to that connection to the universe that is love, that is pure love, it doesn't matter where we go. We'll always be at home, because that love within us is that connection to everything. The connection to our old home, the connection to our soul. It is everything. We need to come back to love, to feel at home, to feel at peace here. And then our home is open to everyone, because we then have so much love to share to everybody else. The key is always love. Let go into love. Fall into it. Let go. Don't need anything anymore except love. And then the third card is Pleiades. There we go. And this card speaks of our two missions. Yes, we came with two missions, and I'm sure you felt it. The first mission is to help ourselves, to grow within ourselves, to expand our own horizons, to grow our own soul experience, to expand our consciousness, become ever more trusting in our own light and the light of the universe, to feel that immense certainty, to become who we really are. And that is our one purpose. And the second purpose is to help those who don't see their own light, to help those who don't feel the connection. And we don't just help those who are already in the light, we go into the dark spaces. We go into the pain, into the places where there is no light. And we can do that only when we are so strong within our own light and within our own love. Then we can take our love anywhere. Because nothing will destroy the love, nothing will taint it, and we will shine light upon the darkness. The universe uses us to shine light upon the darkest spaces of this earth. So those are our two missions. We can't do one without the other. Unless we take care of ourselves, unless we let that love in and expand, we can't take our light into the darkness. But we agreed to take our light into the darkness. That was our purpose. That was our soul agreement. And now you must fulfill the first part of the bargaining, the first part of the contract, to build your own light, to let go of the 3D, the fear, the anger, the worries, the burdens, and to let the light in. The light needs room to exist within you, within us. And if we don't clear out the old, if we don't let go, where will the light sit? Take this energy of the full moon to let go. Let go of the shadow, the haunting that has followed you throughout life. Let go of it. It's all done. You've lived it. You don't need to hold on to that memory. It means nothing except pain. Make a choice to be done with it and reveal instead the real you, the light that you are. Now, I feel the Mintakans are close. I feel their love, their light language coming through. So let's see what they have to say. Let's see if they can help us reveal the potential light within us. So just close your eyes and relax. Mua sinyo aradaba. Ekimushe orana zayi otake kuna garma darajunike siwa. Me sugar matogosia, kuka maraja karapsia, kimuati mador madarwashi, kund kasvaradara kuati, mijia mwaj, watuation no vajara bedesua, kumazuki wara mutarado kisugada. Mijia nadia wara no doshover, but swati chumashe. Pirare dariski wata, Darishkarabasikatoraskia sokortos kaaba, Inyata mua. Mediji no garur garbage konski, Oshikawa yetarish was a bezo karakoshkis was impedinikosobia. Maranotska zotus kuzima, Marabadichki shimush warasoto, a jonazazi yamaraji, Junior Bourgeois Marada, Shinishada. My jondar zazuya muada. Pero no dokushuko zakara tatashibia. Pero nezuzu no skudar mashvarati baraiskisa media or another. Pero yenyo darajukazai. Beta shisha mosha. Nemozara nandusko. ya no bara te spisi karis kora matara shukoso kuani hayatasi me yutas mawara tabrishkins goya metash nikaisia taramotora varjuwas matara biyata tikiska menanora rata tabrishi menonamra tipitiska wata anyata te ma ayima davara chichu tuto sharasa sikarar marada yamo mena utara masaya merabedisi maya kada koroka magatara kaya tarshi kurmatsashi bidara marada Sunga Murazi, Murabarete Tusuko, Eto Mawara Yamata Awara Madabajukun Masi, Marabaya, Nimbasi, Maya Mudara Madara, Patora, Jikosi, Kukaima, Ayama, Yamorobara Sima, Miedara. Marande Musi, Batia Mora, Paradara Goasa, Kimora Tatesia. Marabarinda mora para teke, que manda miabra, ora messi, metabriato sucaro. Marania io tu cusqua, baglietta magica, pugiundo cosa, io ora mora ossi, mi danna marabaradim, e parasi, che mora aradisi, che adatatisi, che seca, ademo arabaglietta rasi, mormado marata, ti chiesco, pionata, saratesi, mia nabarati, mia mora dannasi, matissa carati, matissa, metaretisi, chi moro, per notosa. Imasheya, mevado mohartasi, singawasaka, Watinia, Arabatasi, Misikarabakasiko, and Yesormatasa, Piana Karazatasi, Zatiakabrato Soza Shima, Marari, Ora Hasia, Peradasina, Kurmtasia. Mienora Natasha, Kiamora Natakashke, Paratatashi, Shuvarajasa, Miamora Dasa. Mikazumaka maratabashi. Tesiodora zaza miatarsia tasi. Kizia sakatatisa. Sijana dasa zia kesekatara. Kimora zadara sekazakia. Shinyesha morandasa sia ke wasika moa. Miadon sokasiaje. Signora matasa. Usiora, paiji cosa, que jora casia, que jora casiora cabazina, chichijosim, mijutushusima, casia caia. Ni maravara dosso, ora matatasi, que washik paradashka nushada, paiji casa. Aniedor sonia, zozanio, somaradoshkosia, shuniahia, ma ashinia ashimiaso, shuniashia baratasi, que ozgasia. Metata paraditsa sosusia, cueca, imma, uetiara dataso. Mionasia, paijina caso, peterando coche. Murandatsasia, waratiska, barakana, warakatarshki, shunjodorm sawa, niwarandazi, boranatikashi, pukara, chikurako, waratasa. Uyanyora mataja, shiokara zadara, shiora karakashiora mataja, skora dasi, mianoza, montianoro, jotojora sabara, shamaya, muya, miamora baradara marate, ziche. Bushibora tasa. Ingazi nyabarata. Bakuna karajikase. Shinjawa. Yera tarapsya. Yadasiya. Uretsaba. Anyadaramadigara karakishu. Musur. Meti uasora. Shundujo si waya tarab. Shikabasha. Ushindajo. Shikurajasa. Yadarmaza arabatasi. Kumaka waya taramakuwe ake moka ya bataraka. Yadarama yataji. Pusha chuka jinawa. Miadriza zaji nyawara bata. Yavora muzora matati. Mionora matatashi. Kunikashu. Merobrosa. Merora batarash. Sinjoji baraza. Chidarnisya. Metavalindora ora matata. Piakumosho. Mudia mara baradarnikiwa. Mura madarabe. Injojaja. Meshimbuara tatasi. Kiamokaeda. Jadarmujanyoja. Musiawati, mujmasawati, mujmawasi, tekujmawasi, unjibeda, muamwadashi, tumajambarabatajunya, shawaya, batasa, bunda moazabara, bayoa ebera, pionora batarashi, puna baratarashi, kugudia, shunda, media. Murbatara orndasa, nyakaya bora natasha, Shimbui kama wa imu da moraja. Mia modara. Mia mara darum na kasiara. Perdara mia tarabasha kosi orata. Shadamora. Mujia pase. Mia na. Mia mata para kumesti. Kumatara magwara. Ya ye dezava. Mukumbara da pasi. Yadamaza, Budyama Dabashi, Pexuka Parashika, Kumaja, Zamama Yapata, Rabundia Paratabashi, no Dama, Bekikama Dajan, the Kawajinja Basi, Pejama Doramataji Makapasakaya Matarasha, Mazia Maya, Miana Daza. Munda maja, kmuaja manda, kapasha matrabaja, patakemakaja, shandabaya, munda da, jniaba, imese, ni mamaze keba, yadamaza, mukama yidabadaja, mayimada maza kapata, kamayokoka, yadamuda patara, patasi, kemadata bata kapatasi, bagimawaya, mayimawaya, yadasama wanya matapasi, kinyamaza. Munda patata bashinya se kumata bajana masa pataya yata muhada masheke batati marupata barajin karazo nyetasi baya bawata majibua yamata pasia keza Madia mata pase, mia baba mata pata kasai pata yamaba yamata, and yatasa yamata brasheka, in yatasa, my yimota shinakase. Motion yabata siya, muyamata si, pejama kabasi. Yanda mabakase kamada makasha batasi kimada majamasa kasi majamata kashida zamya batara shakasiya jetata zamya taz makasaya yada moza mujana makaseya kasiya wishodor shokasa mijen yakabasiya yam muchimyata makase bajyata masiya yatata sama. Can feel the amazing link between the higher dimensions, reminding us that we are not just this 3D being. Our energy, our light comes from a source so high, so powerful, so pure, but we've forgotten, we've become disconnected. We've lost the wisdom, the knowledge. They're trying to reconnect us to that feeling, to that wisdom. To open our hearts, to clear the vessel of our heart from all that pain, from all the lives and the tremendous amount of pain that we have felt, to clear the vessel of the heart so that the light and the love can come in to help us create that room. And then finally connecting us with the beautiful beings that inhabit this earth, not us as humans, but the energy beings that are here for us, that live within Gaia. Those beautiful beings that are welcoming us down to connect with the earth, to be at one with her, so that the love comes from the heavens, from the universe, to enter our heart, and the love also coming from these beautiful, beautiful light beings, these elementals, these ancient races of energy that have lived here for so long, are now awakening to us and inviting us to share this earth with them, so that we feel the love up from the earth and we feel the love from the universe, all meeting here within our heart, so that we become the truth of ourselves, of who we are, imperfectly perfect in all ways, and exactly as we should be. So I feel this energy is going to keep working with our heart. Allow it. Give yourself some time, some space to sit with this energy, to discover a bit more about the truth of who you are, to let the light rise. Go for a walk, go sit in the sun, sit in the garden. Do something that connects you. Look at the stars at night, the moon. Let your wild nature, let it arise. Be true to your own heart. So thank you for joining me here today. And if you've enjoyed this event, perhaps you'd like to come along to an event I'm hosting on the 23rd of May, just trusting the void. How do we figure out where we're going when there's no plan anymore? How do we keep moving forward when we don't know where we're going? And it's held here in Brighton, but if you're not in Brighton, then it will be live streamed. The link is on my Facebook page and also on my website. So please do drop in and have a look. And hopefully I'll meet you there. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful full moon. Go and be big, expansive. Let your heart expand as big as it wishes. I'll see you soon. Light blessings.